So for course review 3, we need to do project 2, creating charts and adding graphics to a worksheet. The first project and the last project are not required to upload, so we'll be focusing only on the second and third projects only. So let's open up contributions charts. So that would be in review 3. So we'll double click on contributions charts. Okay, let's take a look at the data again. So very similar data. We have the organizations that have made contributions, and we have individuals who have made contributions, and we have it neatly outlined. We can see all the totals and subtotals labeled. So the first thing we have to do here is we need to collapse the groups by clicking the number 2. So if we take a close look over here, we see level 1 collapses everything. Level 2, it collapses the individual lines or the individual items in there and only gives you the subtotals and the grand total. And if we click the number 3, then everything is revealed. So there are 2 levels of outlining. So let's just click the number 2 only so that we can see the subtotals and the totals. And what we need to do now is we need to select the first set of data in there. So let's select it. So we have different types of contributions and the amounts for each type. And from that, we want to insert a chart. So we're going to insert a pie chart, and we want to give it a 3D style. So let's go ahead and click on Insert. We're going to go to Charts. Here are the pie charts. We click the arrow, and we want a 3D pie chart. And it's covering the data. You can move it over. And how do you know that this data here is reflected in the chart? Well, it's automatically selected. So we know it's this data here and not this data down there. So let's go on to the next question. So it looks like we want us to right click on the chart and we want to move the chart to a new sheet. So let's go ahead and try that. So I am going to right click on the chart. I'm going to select Move Chart, and we're going to move it to a new sheet. We'll call it Chart 1. So let's click OK. And here's the original data. A new sheet has been created, and we can see the chart has been placed in there. Okay. And then what we do is we have to move chart 1, sheet to appear after sheet 1. So we're just going to change the order here. We see chart 1 first and sheet 1. Let's just change the order. So I'm just going to click and hold and drag it over. So sheet 1 comes first and then chart 1. Okay, and then on the chart 1 sheet, we want to triple click on the title, and we're going to change the title. So let me copy the title I have here, Contributions by Organization. And what triple clicking does, you should experiment. A single click just selects it, a double click just selects the word, and if you do a triple click, let's try that now, it selects everything. So you can delete that and paste in the new title, Contributions by Organizations. I don't think we need a period in there. Okay, so we're on to question number 8. So we want to select the title text, and we want to make the font 24 and bold. So let's make it 24 and bold. So I'm going to highlight the text. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to make it size 24. And if it's not already bolded, you can bold it. So I think that's about right. And then we want to click the chart. And then on the right side, we'll have chart elements. Okay. And we want to click the chart elements button, the plus sign, and make sure there are labels in there. So let's do a right click. Okay. So there's the plus sign. If we click that, we can see we have a chart title. We have a legend. The legend's at the very bottom. It's very small text, but we can change that text later. What we want are data labels, okay? So what exactly is that number in there for each of these pie segments? So if we click data labels, then we can see 25,000, 13,000, and so on. Okay, so after that is done, we want to click the Chart Styles button, looks like a paintbrush, and choose Style 3. So that's the paintbrush. Let's click on it, and that's Style 1, that's Style 2, that's Style 3, and there are other styles that you can choose from. So let's choose Style 3. Okay, starting to look really professional now. Okay, and then from there, what we want to do is we want to click a data label, okay, to select all the labels. So we'll just do one click. Okay, notice that all the data labels have been selected just by clicking it one time only. And then on the Home tab, we want to increase the font size to 16. So those data labels are pretty small. So let's see if we can make them a little bit bigger. We'll make them 16, and that looks a bit better. Okay, and then from there, we want to reapply the 24 font size to the title. Okay, so if we go to the title, okay, we see it's 18. So let's highlight the title and make it a little bit larger, let's say 24. And then create the same, it looks like we're done with this one. Okay, so this first chart is done. So it looks like they want us to repeat this again, but with the other data B31 to C34. So let's come back here. So B31 to C34, make sure you don't include the grand total. And let's read it carefully. Okay, so create the same chart for the data. Use the contributions by individual as the chart name, so or the chart title. So we'll come back to that in a minute. All right, so let's do an insert. And let's choose a pie chart. There it is. We want to insert it into a new tab, or we want to move it to a new tab. So we right click, and let me do that again. Right click, and we select move chart. Okay, we're going to move it onto a new sheet, chart 2, and there it is. Okay, now I'm not going to go through all those steps again. What you're basically doing is you're repeating all those steps again, but I'm going to skip that and just simply go to the next step. So the title is contributions by individuals. So we can put that in chart 2. Okay, notice I'm using small fonts here. Of course, you're going to repeat all the steps that you used on the first one, but I'm leaving it for now. Okay, double click on data labels. Okay, and then in the format data labels, when they appear, click the label options to display the settings. So let's, we need data labels on this. Okay, we don't have any data labels. Okay, so let's add some data labels. There we go. And I'm going to just double click, and we have the data label options available right there. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to use outside end as the label option. Okay, so let's see what we have in here under those label options. And under the label options, we can go to the label position, and we want the labels, okay, they're really small here, but you'll make them larger, outside end. I believe that's what it's asking for. There it is, and we can see the labels have been placed on the outside end, and then click and move each of the three labels, okay, and ensure there's no overlapping. So if you have large text, those labels can overlap, so you can just simply move them around as you want. And notice there's a connector there. So when you move the labels around, you'll see connectors, and you want to kind of spread them out. Remember, these fonts are supposed to be larger, and they might actually overlap, so you cannot read them. And I think that's about it. We're pretty much done. The only thing left we need to do is we need to rearrange our sheet so that chart 2 is the last one. So chart 2 is here. We're just going to click and drag it over so we see sheet 1, chart 1, and chart 2. And now we are ready to save the file.